Right, everyone. So Rey Mysterio talked about retirement. It is crazy that Rey Mysterio, he's turning 50. He'll be 50 in December. And he's still in the wrestling business. He's still doing his thing, but he talked about retirement. So this is what he had to say. I think what's left is to be able to plan a nice sunset and be able to thank everyone that has followed and supported me throughout the years and give them, when the time is right, a good farewell. Not something that'll happen one time and then I come back and do it again. Maybe a farewell tour, something that can mean something to me and everyone that will be there, whether it's every city, a country. This is the last time we'll be together. So now, once again, we're getting another farewell tour. We got John Cena's. Now Rey Mysterio is saying he might want one. And I hope he gets it. I really do. I hope he doesn't retire yet because I want to have John Cena's farewell tour, and I don't want Cena and Mysterio to share the same one. I want Mysterio to get the credit he deserves. It's one of those things that this happens in sports and in WWE undoubtedly. So, like, if you're a fan of a sports team, there's those players throughout the whole time you've been watching them that just they really mean something to you, right? It's not the Michael Jordans of the world. It's just some role player on a team that you like who you will never forget. And he just, in a way he means a ton to you because you were watching every game that was being played and you were just like, man, I'm rooting for that guy, always trying so hard and you're hoping he'll win a title. And usually ends up you don't, but they end up meaning a good amount to you and they may not mean as much to everybody else. Rey Mysterio is one of those guys who he was so big time for so long. I mean, going back even WCW days into his early time in WWE, like he was legitimately someone who, like, anytime he was on the screen, you're like, well, I got to watch that, have to watch that, definitely have to watch that. So, I don't understand. I don't know if people watching just wrestling now, like people who weren't like the reason I brought up the point with like the role player is that I feel like nowadays, that's more of his role, right? He's just a guy that's not necessarily in the main events anymore and all of that. But people don't understand what he was like when he was in his prime. And even the most recent matches, they've been very good. But in his prime, man, this guy was one of a kind. And there's just those wrestlers who, even when they don't have titles on them, you just remember them, right? And Rey Mysterio, wrestler, right? You talk about wrestling during that time period, he's a name that comes up very quickly. So I hope he gets his own retirement tour. It doesn't have to be a year-long deal unless he wants it to be a year-long deal, but it could just be, the 6 months of him back in a really good storyline and us seeing what he could do. Maybe it will be with his son. Who knows? So thank you all for watching, and we will see you next.